tea time. You get what I'm saying? But you got to pay attention to people. So if you're going to be a team player, you got to have perception. Everybody say perception. Perception. All right. Number 2, attitude is so important. You can't be on a team if you hate everybody on the team. Attitude. Now let me help you with attitude, because we throw this word around and we oversimplify it till it loses its meaning. Attitude on a team means be supportive and not suspicious.
Well, now.
I don't want to come to work or be a part of an organization where everybody around me is suspicious about everybody else.
Well, now.
Hey, now, I don't know where Shirley up to today.
Can you just let me be me?
Amen.
Let me function in my role. Let me fulfill what I'm supposed to be here doing. And until I show you otherwise, give me the benefit of the doubt. What's interesting to me is everybody wants the benefit of the doubt until they need to give it to somebody else. And if we live by the simple rule of doing unto others as we have them to do unto us, the world will be a whole lot better place. So what you trust people with shows how you treat them. You can't say, you heard anybody say, I trust you, but I'm looking. Well, you don't trust me.
What's that?
You see what I'm saying? Because if you trust me, you're going about your business. If you trust me and you got handcuffs on me, with a rope tied to the handcuffs, I trust you. Keep on walking. Well, you don't trust me. So number 1, you need the right perception. Number 2, you need the right attitude. Number 3, if you're going to be a team player, you've got to have focus. Always concentrate on the team. I like what Kevin Roberts said. He said true progress in any field is a relay race and not an individual event. That means we're focused on the goal. We're trying to go somewhere. Then number 4 in becoming a team player is results. How many like to finish stuff? You like to finish stuff? Everybody likes to finish stuff. Results is when you begin to create results through multiplication because you add value to those around you. Here's what you got to understand about being a team player. If you become the person that when people are around you, they know that you're going to bring the best out of them, guess what? They're going to always bring the best of them to you. Let me say it again. When you become known as the person that people know when you engage them, you're going to bring the best. So here comes Jim. Oh man, I look forward to seeing Jim, because every time I see Jim, Jim just affirms me. He tells me something positive. He tells me something good. My staff now they figured me out. They figured out that any conversation they start with me, that I begin with over-adulation of who they are, they know the hammer's coming. So it's now become a joke, because I have my most intense meetings in the most casual setting. So I never call people into an office and all that. Oh no, I don't do any of that. I'll put a reward behind it, and I want to take you to lunch, just whatever. It's something. Let's go play golf. I make it where their defenses are down. And so I start the conversation about where I want to go with themes that I know matters to them. And I first start by affirming them, and I'm talking sincere, genuine, not perfunctory and patronage. And then I go from that and I start asking them, so what's happening in your life? After I affirm them, I take an interest in what's going on in their real world, their world that has nothing to do with me. Then from there, that helps me to shape, even though I know the construct of what I need to maybe challenge them on, or that I'm evaluating them about, I filter my constructive criticism with circumstance. So I take an interest in what matters to them, so by the time I get to the part of the conversation where I need to give constructive critique, I filter what I say with a sensitivity to what they've been through.
Wow.
I'm trying to show you how to be a team player and a team leader, because you crush the creativity in people when you want to correct something about them without considering why that needs to be corrected. Because life is all connected together, because life is really not compartmentalized, even though we live it out in compartments, then you have to understand sometimes what you see a person do over here may not have anything to do with what's over here. It's got something to do with something way over there. But if you don't take an interest in their life, you'll come in and just lay the gauntlet and lay the hammer down and totally destroy that person. So people commit suicide sitting in an office. Take a whole bottle of pills sitting at work. Because while you were trying to challenge the best in them, you left them out of the equation. How are you going to challenge me and leave me out? So now let's deal with becoming a team leader. There are 9 things that you need in becoming a team leader. If you don't have these things, you can't lead the team. Number 1, a team leader knows the real needs and meet them. Don't just assume what people need. Investigate and find out what they need. In other words, let me help you, team leader. Don't just think that everything you told a person is all they need to accomplish what you want. After you tell people what you want them to do, have a side conversation and say, is there anything else I can give you to help you? It's narcissistic to think you covered everything they need when you're not them. So if you're going to be a team leader, you're just that. You're leading the team. I love sports, particularly football, and of course, the New Orleans Saints I thought they were the only team in the NFL, but I guess. The Cowboys still around? Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. I told you I was mischievous. Who do I have no championship? Dallas? The Saints do. What do you think? They won the Super Bowl. See, watch yourself. See what you're saying? You're trying to cross and all that. Watch yourself. We 3-0. What are y'all? Oh, okay. Anyway. Okay. Coming over. All right. A team leader. Number 2 provides. I got y'all started. You see how quickly I got to rise out of y'all? A team leader provides guidance and modeling. A team leader provides guidance and modeling. Here's what that means. It's not some of y'all paying attention to me now that didn't pay attention to me for the last 2 hours just because of the Saints and the Cowboys. That's funny to me. A team leader is not about do as I say. It's about do as I do. Here's the difference in a leader and a dictator. A dictator uses intimidation and manipulation. A leader uses relationships and influence. I'll say it again. The difference in a dictator and a leader is a dictator, whether you're dealing with Hitler, who's a megalomaniac, who's a great study as a dictator, or Winston Churchill, who's a great study as a statesman and a leader. The distinctive difference is Hitler used intimidation and manipulation. So because of what I've got the power to do to you, I sway what you do. Winston Churchill and other leaders of his time used relationships that gave them influence. I'm reading a book right now, it's one of my biographies, about the friendship between Winston Churchill and Franklin Roosevelt during the reign of Hitler. Because their friendship actually kept the rest of the free world from being overtaken by Hitler. Because he was on a fast track to take, it was not a joke. He wasn't just going after Poland, he was going after the world, and he was going to take England, and once he took England, he was coming across the pond to the United States. And so it was the friendship between Winston Churchill, who couldn't have been more different from each other in personality, in style, in intellect, and in physicality. Churchill is robust and rotund. Winston Churchill, Roosevelt is paralyzed by polio. One has the pedigree of an American dynasty, going back to Teddy Roosevelt. The other had a tapestry that was a maze of various pieces from England that got him to his ascent as prime minister. But it was a friendship between them. And if you're going to be a team leader, you've got to know how to mold and mesh and bring people together by what you model. It can't just be you dictating. Number 3, a team leader gives comfort and confidence. In other words, give people room to grow while holding them to a high standard. Give them comfort and confidence. Number 4, a team leader provides vision, hope, and love. Now this is so important because, again, with most organizations and businesses, we focus so much on our product and our performance that we don't realize what really affects our productivity. Your product and your performance doesn't determine your productivity. The thing that determines your productivity are your relationships. Because at the end of the day, you need people for your product and you need people for your performance. You ever had somebody with a great idea, but nobody liked them? You can't get money if nobody likes you. You can't even get people to buy what you sell if you have the money to create it, if nobody likes you. So it's so important as a team leader that people like you. You want to be like, I've actually heard leaders say, even CEOs say, I don't care who likes me. Like, what? I read some on Facebook the other day. Somebody said, you know what? I'm amazed when people say they're done with people. So who they gonna hang with, animals? You ever heard people say, I'm just done with people? All right. So who's left? Who you gonna talk to now? God bless you. Bless you. So be careful of that. A team leader takes time to get to know the team. I don't have the time, and I'm already over my time. But if I have the time, I would do an exercise that I normally do with groups like this that helps to identify how much people know about the other people they work with. Because as quiet as it's kept, and I'm not talking about what you know as in being nosy and knowing people's private details. But what I mean is how much have you cared about the people you work with beyond what you do together? Because that really determines how much you get out of them and how well they work with you. Because at the end of the day, we're all creatures of emotion. That's what moves us. That's how we go. That's the thing that sets our triggers. And so it's important to know how to manage the relationships with the people around you. So get to know the people that's around you. I don't have time to elaborate on all these. A team leader makes sacrifices for the team. I like what Ruben Granitska said. He said we can't simply cheer people on and give them our best wishes. We have to make room for them in our lives. So if you're a team leader, sometimes you got to engage people in an environment that goes outside of the time you have for them. Well, this is my work schedule. Okay, that's fine. Well, this is the time I have for this. But if you know there's somebody you're working with that's critical to a project, you may have to take a little extra time on the back end or the front end prepping them for what you're getting ready to do. It may cost you a few dollars, but at the end of the day, you want productivity. It's bigger than your product. It's bigger than your performance. It's about your productivity. Number 7, a team leader serves with a joyful and willing spirit. One of the things you have to understand, it takes time and effort to accomplish anything great. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And nobody wants to follow somebody that acts like they don't want to be doing it themselves. Mm-hmm. Don't expect people to do what you don't look like. That becomes an issue. I want the people around me to step it up and come up, but I don't look like it. The people you lead are going to be a reflection of the person that's leading you. So make sure that they're seeing the proper attitude out of you. Number 8, a team leader serves well with pure motives. I don't have to ask the question, but if I can do a poll, have any of you ever worked for anybody or with anybody that you knew that what they were doing was just about them? And what does it do? It demotivates you. Like, even though you could do more, you just like, you know what, I'm not helping them. You didn't tell them, but you acted like it. And it was frustrating because you may have really believed in what you were doing, but because you couldn't believe in them, because of their motive, it took your motivation away. Well, if you're a leader, you want to make sure you have the right motive so that people want to work with you. Number 9, a team leader serves without abusing power and authority. That's probably the most important one in being a team leader. Now, it's some people you can't give them a badge. I'm serious. I'm serious. You give them a badge, I mean, it's over. It's a RoboCop on you. I'm serious. Like, I mean, have you ever noticed, like some people, before they, as long as they were vanilla, generic, just part of the group, they were nice and sweet. And how you doing? You had a good day? How you feeling? Need some Advil? Feet hurt? What's going on? And then as soon as they got a badge that said like supervisor, they thought it meant Superman. And like their whole disposition, they didn't park their car the same. They parked on the middle line, taking, it's funny how things change. And you know what's funny? They didn't change. Now they just got the power or the position to show who they always were. People don't show you anything different than they are. They just wait for the right moment to show you the rest of who they are. I tell folks, some people can't afford to be mean. It's not they're not mean, they just too broke to show it. Like they're too busy needing money from you to show you that they don't like you. But you don't find out, just let them get a little money. Like, oh, they treat me different. No, that's how they always felt about you. They were just too broke to show it. So be careful how you handle power. That's very, very, very critical. Be careful how you handle power. So let's build a great team. Here it is. Number 1, trust others with responsibility. Look at somebody next to you and ask them, can I trust you? Now say it again. Can I trust you? You didn't hear the question. The question is not you asking them whether they're trustworthy. The question you're asking them is, do you have the confidence to trust them? Can I trust you? So if you're going to build a great team, give people responsibilities and don't micromanage them. Leave them alone. Some of y'all want to tell each other that sometime. Leave me alone. Leave right now, immediately. .com, hashtag, alone. Because sometimes people, and everybody's different. You have some personalities, they work best with other people. Like some people work best with noise. Some people, they don't have noise, they can't function. They just need sounds, any kind of sound. Other people, that would irritate everything in them out of them. And so some people, they like, look, I function better with groups. Some people like, I function. So don't force people to abandon their temperament to work in an environment that goes against their productivity. If you're the leader, accommodate and create an environment where everybody can work in a space that brings the best out of them. If you're a leader, don't try to enforce or impose on people to have to fit into an environment that goes against their productivity. Instead, create an environment or a space that brings out the best in everybody. And sometimes you got to be creative. I mean, somebody just want to sit Indian style in the corner. Seriously, let them. If that's their creativity. I mean, that's the new model now. I mean, pay attention again. I keep referencing Apple and I keep referencing Google and Yahoo. That's the new corporate model now because they're looking for productivity. I've got to let you go here. Number 2, train others to be capable and competent. Train them to be capable and competent. In other words, when you let me know what I need to do, present it to me in a way where I know you're expecting me to do it well. Have you ever had somebody that was great at telling you what to do but not how to do it? They just kind of left you hanging. You know, you all excited. Then they mad at you for not doing it. And it was funny is you never saw them do it. They reading the book. Okay, we gonna put together the poem. I never saw a poem before, but we're gonna put it together. And then they just say, now put it together. And then they come back and say, you got my poem button? No, know how to communicate for clarity. Number 3, unleash them with authority. There's nothing worse than somebody giving you responsibility but won't let you make decisions. If you're going to get, you okay? I thought she needed CPR over there. If you're going to be given responsibility, you need to be given the authority. Because after all, I'm trying to figure out why would somebody make you responsible if they didn't give you authority anyway? And I've never understood leaders who say, well, you know, I gave them the responsibility. I can't trust them with authority. Well, why you gave them the responsibility? I mean, isn't that kind of the point? If you want me to do something that's decisive, release me to make decisions. Number 4, communicate for clarity and quality. Learn how to say it. Can't say that enough. Learn how to say it. If you're going to communicate, if you're going to talk, learn how to talk. And really learn. Like learn that conversate is not a word. It's converse.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, brilliant people, intellectual people, intelligent people are going to be kind to you, hopefully. And they won't expose what you don't know, but they'll take notice of what you don't know.
Yes.
And it's going to determine how they respond to it. There are people I talk to, I'll never embarrass anybody, ever, but I'm paying attention. So I'm listening to their words. I'm listening to phrasing. I'm listening to syntax. I'm listening to how they engage. And that's determining what I'm going to do. So they can't read it in my face. They're not going to see it through my personality. But when I walk away, I already know what the verdict's going to be by how they handle the conversation. So like learn words. I mean, today is foolproof. You know, grammar and spelling has been replaced with spell check. Everything has a dictionary. Take the time to look up the words. Take the time to get the right spellings. Pay attention to what you say. Be careful of using a lot of colloquial and words that are not words. You know, because we just made up words. We've got amalgamated words and we just, you know, it's words I hear today. I'm like, who uses this? Like, really, who says this? And who understands this? And it marginalizes your life. Now, when I'm enjoying a game, when I'm talking to friends, and people talk about my vocabulary all the time, I use the words I use, and it's all the time. So it's not just that's just how I talk, because I can only use the words I know. So when you know a bunch of words, it's just normal, it's natural. So it's not something academic, it's just me. But at the same time, you can use words in a way that even when, and y'all have done it today, even when people don't know the word, they get the understanding of the word from the context the word is used in.
Right.
Which is the art of communication. So I always make sure that when I use a word, and that's how, this is funny, but that's how you know whether or not a person really knows the words they're using. You ever heard somebody trying to use big words? Like they used to say contemplate, but they say constipate because they don't really know. No, I've heard it. I mean, I was constipating the other day. Oh, God, I got it. Yeah, I'm serious. Like a guy was saying, he was trying to to say repercussions, but he didn't know it was repercussions. But he wanted to impress, so he said, we're going to have some percussions behind it. So I just start banging on the table. All right, y'all stop being messy. What's the word? Lavoisier. I can't even get it. What does it mean? What's the context? Y'all ain't gonna say yeah, but you have to, but I'm serious. Like, let me, pay attention to your language. Because, let me give you this, and I'm going to end. Let me ask a question, and I'm done. Have you all been engaged today? Every civilization and culture, let me drive this point home. Because the most critical part of leadership is communication. You realize that when you're dealing with business or any area of your life, the bulk of your engagement is talk. Now, what's intriguing about that's the bulk of my engagement. Oftentimes, that's the part we spend the least amount of time developing. Think about it. It's the thing we do the most. We spend the least amount of time developing, so we end up with words like Kamasa.